Today on Keep It Going, we have Frank from Kandy Ices. How you doing, Frank?
I can't complain. Can't complain at all, bro.
Well, good to have you, bro. Super excited. Tell us a little bit about Kandy Ices.
Well, it originated from like my aunt. She used to like give kids like a bunch of like fruit. The kids hated it. What she did was she would take the fruit and freeze it and put it in the refrigerator. Like she would like little pieces like sugar or something on it, and then make it like real sweet. And then the kids would eat it. So basically, that's how it was originated, technically. Yeah.
That's how you came up with the name as well?
Well, yes, exactly, because it's candy. You know what I'm saying that like it's a sprinkled candy with the sugar, and then ice because it's in the freezer because it's cold.
Cool. Well, yeah. I'm looking forward to tasting that today. What you got for us today on the show?
Today, so I'm going with throwback candies. Okay. We got the Now Later. We got we got the Laffy Taffy Mango. Okay. We got Cherry Airhead. Technically, that's all like, candies that we grew up on, things like that. At least some of my favorites is, the Airhead.
I like it. I love Airheads. I love Now Laters. That's a throwback.
Yeah.
All right, what about, is this all virgin drinks or what?
No, you can actually, spike it with liquor. That's why, everyone loves, it's the grown-up adult. Basically like adult water ices. Okay. That's all it is, to tell you the truth. But we cut it off. We cut off pineapples and we empty out the inside of the pineapple. We throw the water ice inside and the liquor, and then we sprinkle it with candy or your suggestion of fruit.
Gotcha.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Well, looking forward to it. We're gonna come back to Frank. We're gonna see what Kandy Ices can create, and we're just gonna keep it going. Today on Keep It Going, we're happy to have Ebun Olaloye with us. I appreciate you coming on, Ebun. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, definitely. Ebun is the CEO and co-founder of Breathe Futbol. He's also the designer of the board game you see in front of you called What She Said. So, Ebun, you're doing really big things, man. Again, we're happy to have you. If you could, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your education, where you grew up, what you're currently doing.
Yeah, sure. So I was born and raised in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, where I developed my love and my passion for football, aka soccer, and also being creative and sort of drawing and things like that. And then we moved to New Jersey. I went to undergrad at Temple University where I studied architecture. I did graduate, but halfway through I realized I was like, you know what, I want to do something different. I didn't just want to graduate and get a regular job. So I started making t-shirts. I said Breathe Futbol on them. And then from there, it's just kind of led me down this path of entrepreneurship and just being creative, being a creative professional, really.
Right. So at a young age, which is very not common, I would say, you just knew school wasn't for you and you knew you had to pursue your own dream, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew, so I've never really had a real job. I just always knew that my creativity was kind of would be my ticket to kind of create the life that I wanted to live. And I also wasn't good with authority, you know what I mean? So I was I kind of wanted to do my own thing. And I was if I'm gonna be successful in life, I kind of have to figure out what my thing was, what my lane was, because I knew I would do that 100% rather than having someone tell me I can do this or I can't do that.
Okay, yeah. Good stuff. We have Sean as well, my co-host. Sorry about that, Sean. Yeah, Sean, how you feeling?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
Cool, man.
Yeah, just trying to keep it going.
Keep it going, man. I'm loving it. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, man, just following up on what you asked, man. So thanks for sharing what you just let us know. But was it your passion, right? So just talk a little bit about passion, you know what I'm saying? So people play football, people play basketball, people play soccer, but was football and playing soccer your passion? And did that how much did that have to do with you getting into the WF?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was born and raised in Nigeria, and soccer, football was the main thing, right? Every day I'd play, you know what I mean? I'd get in trouble. I'd come home at 7:30 we hit, I'd be I'm gonna play for another hour and I'll deal with the consequences later. So I knew very early on that it was something that was really important to me. Even though it was something obviously my parents just called you're just playing football just for fun. And then when I kind of got to college, I realized how important it was to me when I would skip classes and architecture reviews to go watch soccer and go play soccer. And I was okay, this is clearly something that's so important to me. I'm so passionate about it, and it's affecting the things I'm supposed to do. It's affecting my grades, affecting class and stuff like that. So I knew I had to figure out a way to, create something with soccer, because that was something I just couldn't live without. So for me, when people talk about passion, football is my passion, but also being creative and making clothes and t-shirts and designing is also a passion. And for me, the real sort of personal thing that I did was put both of them together and create something new from that. Okay, mix my love and my passion for football and soccer with my love for design and being creative. And say, okay, what can this become? And that was LBF.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Just to follow up on that, is that how you got into the business? Was it in college? Was it right after college? And when did you see that, you know what, this could be viable, right?
Yeah. I mean, so it was in college. So I remember it was my 21st birthday. And I remember just like that day, like I was in an architecture review. And I just kind of had this feeling, man, I'm 21 now, I'm gonna graduate next year. Like, what's my life gonna look like? And I was like, well, I didn't really drink at the time. I was like, I don't care about going to drink, which is kind of like what you do when you're 21. I was like, I'm just gonna design this t-shirt and put it on the internet, make a quick like e-commerce site. I'm gonna make 21 of these shirts. Whoever wants to buy them, great. If you don't want to buy them, I don't care. That was my way of celebrating my 21st birthday. So I put them online, put them on Twitter, and they sold out in like a couple of hours. And it was only 21 shirts, but I was just like, okay, that's dope. Like I think I flipped $160 to like $400. I was like, okay, like there's something here. But the real interesting thing was, it was people I didn't know. It wasn't like my friends that really, it was like, I'm gonna put it on the internet to strangers. Because your friends buy things because they like you. They're your friends. Family support, they're supporting you. I was like, do I have something here? So the fact that strangers from like, all over the country bought it, I was like, okay, this is interesting. And that kind of became how I started the brand. But it wasn't really viable. It was really just a kid in a dorm room, like selling t-shirts whenever like I felt like it. It wasn't until I graduated, I was like, okay, let me take this a little bit more seriously and really like kind of go all the way in and making it like, a venture.
Ebun, that's good, man. It sounds like almost like a Cinderella story, though, right? Everything just kind of worked out, and I know that can't be how it was.
Not even close.
So yeah, tell us about the challenges. I'm also just loving this interview because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are just looking up to people like you that follow their passion and follow their dream. They want to come out of that 9 to 5.
Sure.
So I want you to speak to them. Like, what are some of the challenges that you faced going through that?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I would say is like the knowledge gap, right? You don't know what you don't know. So I was like, okay, I just wanted to make some t-shirts. That's as simple as it was. Like, I wanted to make cool soccer-inspired lifestyle clothing. That was it, right? And then you start and you realize, oh, I don't really know how to make clothes, right? I didn't go to fashion school. Okay, you figure that out. You go, okay, oh, we need money. I don't know anything about raising money. I didn't grow up in an entrepreneurial household. So like, my parents, traditional Nigerians, go to school, get a degree, get a job. Like that was the thing. So it's that was the biggest thing, was like figuring out, one, as the business grew, was like, how do you raise more capital to kind of keep this machine going? How do you hire people? When you run out of money, how do you stay alive, right? How do you kind of deal with the challenges that every entrepreneur faces? I'll tell the story that in 2016, we were doing really well, and we're just only selling t-shirts, and I was like, look, I'm kind of tired of just only doing t-shirts. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make cut and sew pants, jackets, things like that. So we launched a Kickstarter, raised $32,000 on it, and I was like, okay, this is great. This is going to be the thing that takes us to that next level. Problem was, the factory we worked with basically gypped us, and we lost $13,000 in product. And I just remember being like, I don't know how to get out of this situation. I don't have the money to do another run of production, and I don't know what to tell the customers who already paid and are expecting product that, look, guys, like what we got back, I don't feel comfortable sending that to you guys. So those are some of the challenges that we faced. But the reality is, as you grow a business, like those challenges just get bigger and kind of more expensive, but you also get better and more kind of competent and capable of solving those problems. But the one thing I would say when we talk about people want to quit a 9 to 5 is like, I never had a 9 to 5. I just kind of knew, I was like, I'm going to bet on myself 100%. And the thing is, I did it young enough where I didn't really have much responsibility. So I was able to kind of, sacrifice a lot of my sort of like personal development and growth. Like, not really like, didn't make much money. All the money we made, put it back in the business. Lived in substandard living conditions. No vacations, no real what kind of everyone like expects. Is just kind of like this is what I'm gonna do, and just kind of kept grinding it out. And it's at some point it starts making sense. The first few years it doesn't really make financial sense, but once I I got better as an entrepreneur and a business owner, I said, okay, this is the moves we're gonna make that are more strategic and kind of will get us to the place where I can pay myself a salary or whatever that benchmark is of success. Yeah.
Wow, I mean, like going through that challenge early, like I'm sure that must have been difficult. You know what I'm saying? So like that resiliency that's dope to hear.
Absolutely, so and I think one thing that you had is the desire, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't maybe t-shirts, it was gonna be something that had to do with soccer, because that's your love.
Yeah.
And you followed that, and that's really commendable. It's nice to see you doing good things. Let's segue a little bit. Ebun was also the designer of That's What She Said. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in general, I just love to be creative. And in 2015, I think it was, I got an approach to kind of like, these guys had the idea for That's What She Said and said, we want to kind of create something out of it. So they kind of hired me to design like the box, the logo, all that stuff. And really, it's kind of a fun party game. And one thing I realized was like part of my creativity is like I want people to enjoy the things that I make, right? And a game is kind of it's a party game, so you chill with your friends, house parties or whatever, you can kind of just bring out the game and play. So it's available in Target, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon. I think it was a top-selling card game on Amazon in 2020, and I think we sold over 1 million copies to date. So really proud of this project. It's obviously not my main thing, but it's kind of something else that like I can kind of apply my creativity and sort of like what I want to do to this as well. Yeah,
I think that's worthy of a clap. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, I think so.
I have a quick question though. Like you mentioned earlier, and I'm just curious, like what would you say is your greatest strength, right? And how is that attributed to your success? Because you had mentioned like $13,000 that you lost. I remember that campaign. I was like, they raised over $30,000. Now, having like such a big loss, that could kind of demotivate people, right? So how did you keep going, and what would you say is like your biggest strength?
I mean, I would say it's just resilience, right? For me, it was like, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. And for me, it's like, okay, I may not see the way through right now, but I have to keep going, because that's the only way I'll potentially get through it. If I give up, then it's done, right? And for me, it was like the only promise I made myself when I started LBF or anything was more so like, as long as I'm having fun with it, I'll keep going with it, right? And so even though we lost 13 grand, even though I didn't have the answers, I still enjoyed what I was doing. It was still fulfilling for me. I still wanted to be at the office for 12 hours straight and not even really care that I didn't do anything else that day. So for me, it was like, that's my biggest strength, is being resilient. Because I have a vision or an idea of what I want to accomplish. I won't stop until like it's a real thing. Because then I won't be able to sleep, I won't be able to be myself if I know that like I gave up, halfway through, I didn't see it all the way through or give it, my absolute all.
That's commendable, bro. I'm just curious, I'm sure people are also curious, like, so what inspired the name? So you got LBF, you know what I mean? There's this growing interest of soccer in the United States, football. You still kind of get that back and forth, but what inspired the name LBF?
It's hard to say what inspired the name. I just remember I was in, again, architecture review. I had my sketchbook and like I just drew the words Live, Breathe Futbol on there. But I will say that like at the time, so I was at Temple and I was playing soccer every night. It was like 10 o'clock to like 1 a.m. Just like really like nonsensical things. Like that doesn't make sense. Like I had 8 a.m. classes, but I found this group of people that just played soccer every single day, right? We traveled to different colleges to play. Like it just brought me so much joy, and like that's really all I wanted to do outside of go to class and study. So that name kind of just was born from that. This group of people that like, man, like we're living and breathing football. And the reason I chose that name was kind of like, you don't have to guess what we're about. You don't have to guess what we stand for. It's like you see Live, Breathe Futbol, you know exactly what the brand's about, what the inspiration is, and what we believe in. So that was really how the name, like I picked the name, because I could have chosen like a random word or something, like maybe my name or whatever it was. I was like, no, that's too confusing. Like just Live, Breathe Futbol. You don't have to ask. You might ask what we do, or like what our product is or what our service is, but you'll know what the inspiration behind the brand is, and that was important for me.
Yo, so Ebun, what would you say is your vision for the future? You've accomplished a lot, and like, how do you see that like impacting your business? What's your vision for the future? And
I mean, my big vision for the future of LBF specifically is like, I want us to be the biggest soccer brand in the world. So that'll be the main thing, but also is to do good as we do well, right? So recently, just last week, we did a collaboration with Bleacher Report on collaborating like a Black Lives Matter jersey. So we're going to donate all the proceeds from that jersey to the social change fund. So for me, it's like, as the business does well, it's like, what else can I do to really like help and inspire other people, but also kind of help more kids discover and foster their love for soccer. So I was very lucky where I got to play soccer, I had access to soccer, which is not the case for a lot of inner city kids in America, but also like in Philadelphia specifically. So for me, it's like having a component of the brand that we're able to donate funds and just sort of assist and help other young kids who may love soccer or passionate about soccer, don't really have the means, to kind of sort of help them, give them the opportunity to discover and foster their love for the game.
It's commendable, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate
That's a big deal, man. We always love people that are reaching back. So,
Salute.
yeah, thanks again.
Thank you.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, Ebun, thank you so much
Thank
for
you guys,
joining
man.
us on
It's
Keep
great.
It Going. Guys, you see what we're talking about. It's all about that positivity. It's all about looking up to people that are doing what we want to do and impacting people the way we want to impact people. So Ebun, thank you again for your time.
Thank you for
We
having
hope
me.
to have you
Sure,
again
thank
on
you,
Keep
guys.
It Going. And we look forward to it.
Nah, man.
bro.
Thanks again for having me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Thanks.
We're doing our check back in with Frank from Kandy Ices. Frank, tell us what you got for us.
Right now, over here on the left, we got the blue banana. That's what we call it, but it's more like a Laffy Taffy-ish,
Okay.
like throwback candy. This one right here, this is the Now Later, even though there's gummy bears on all of them. So they both have vodka and triple sec.
Okay. Cool. And now they both look good. So it's basically water ice throughout the entire pineapple with vodka infusion. Is that what it is?
Yes, basically that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Actually, the thing about the water ice, we use different types of water ice. We don't have our own water ice yet,
Okay.
but it'll be coming soon. You know, look out for that, Kandy Ices. What I'm doing is, for my brand, Kandy Ices, I'm taking other like Philadelphia water ice, Transilli's water ice, Fred's water ice, and like just basically promoting them with my product as well to promote them too.
Gotcha.
You know, and Sadiq's water ice as well. So there's a lot of water ice guys already in Philadelphia that already do this.
Right.
However, this is a unique way of promoting it, you know, or putting it out to tourists, you know, people that come to Philadelphia to know what we're about, and just spinning it with candy
Right.
and the liquor and things like that.
I love it. I love it.
So glad that you found a way to combine 3 of my very favorite things. So thanks. Should have never introduced me to this because I'm probably going to be your biggest customer.
That's good. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. And as soon
Yeah.
as we get a chance to, get that gin up in there all the way, yeah, you can slide in.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a bite.
Uh-oh. My goodness.
I mean, when you see a drink like this, you're just gonna have to buy it.
I mean,
Like, it don't matter what's in there. You
as
just
soon
gotta
as I
buy
saw
it.
this, I'm like, first of all, a drink the size of my head. Thank you. Yes.
That's great. It's like the
That is really good. That is so good. And, it's just one of those things, like, it's the perfect combination, right?
Yeah, basically, like, on a nice hot summer day, you want to be hydrated at the same time. And also, we don't just have the candy as well, we got the fruit layers as well, the little puree go on top of it. You want to be extra healthy today, get a little smoothie type of situation going. Fruit. So if there's some fruit on there as well. You already got the fruit on the outside, why not?
It's a healthy way to get
Fruit candy. How about that?
This I don't know what to say about this. This is one of a kind. I have never actually had a drink like this. So, and it's not even just about the presentation of it, but water ice with a vodka infusion is just, you can't find that. I don't know where you can find that. I mean, they probably have it somewhere, but I appreciate you. It's yummy. It tastes really, really good.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Definitely check me out.
All right, so you can go ahead.
No, I was going to say, how can they?
You can check me out. You can check me out on bookdinner.com.
Thank you.
I'm right up on there. I'm also my social media presence. Let's build that up some more, but we just getting out there. Kandy Ices, Kandy Ices, and that's also on Facebook as well. PhiladelphiaBrunch.com as well. That's brunch.com. PhiladelphiaBrunch.com. Check me out on there. The reason why I was brunch.com is I was also doing breakfast at first, working out of a commercial kitchen, like a ghost kitchen, due to COVID, the impact. So we're like being more safe. We actually were delivering them that way through Uber Eats. I had a nice little a following on there as well before we start trying to move over to an actual turnkey operation on South Street. So that's where we're at. If you want to look at us, look for us. We're on Twitter as well. Like I said, Kandy Ices with a K.
All right.
Kandy Ices.
Thanks, Frank. This is awesome. This is amazing. Thanks to Kandy Ices. We look forward to having you back here on Keep It Real.
Not a problem.